Do you want to know how to make muffins without any oil or butter? But maybe you're scared they'll turn out bland and dry. Well, there's a simple substitution you can make that will give you super soft and fluffy muffins that are even healthy enough to eat for breakfast. Hey there, I'm London Brazil from evolvingtable.com, and today we're making spiced muffins with applesauce. Yep, there is absolutely zero, zilch, nada, none, absolutely no oil, no butter, and still these muffins are so moist and super flavorful. So if you're ready to get to baking, then come on in and let's get started. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Just like in any other quick bread recipe, we're going to be using 2 different bowls today for the wet and the dry ingredients. This is important because it ensures that all of the leavening ingredients evenly disperse throughout the batter. In a medium-sized bowl, mix together 2 cups of flour. A gluten-free 1-to-1 blend is being used here today. Half a cup of coconut sugar. Regular white sugar can also be used. 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of apple pie spice. Whisk to combine. I'm actually using an apple pie spice blend that I made here at home. You can either just buy it at the grocery store or even use pumpkin pie spice instead. If you'd like to make yours at home, simply whisk together 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of cardamom, and half a teaspoon of allspice. Store any leftovers in an airtight container for future recipes. And if you noticed, I gave you a range of 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of spice. If you're like me and you absolutely love all things pumpkin pie spice, apple pie spice, you name it, you'll want to go ahead and use the maximum amount. However, if you're more like my hubby and my mother-in-law, who can taste even the tiniest bit of cinnamon in anything, you might want to err on the side of using a little bit less. Now that we've got our dry ingredients combined, it's time to move on to the wet, including the applesauce. It's important in this recipe that you use an applesauce that's unsweetened or has no sugar added. You'll also want to double check to see if the applesauce has spices already added into it. If it does, you'll want to adjust the amount of additional spices you use. Store-bought applesauce or homemade can both be used interchangeably in this recipe. And if you want to know how to make it in the Instant Pot, you can learn how at the video right up here. If you are using a homemade applesauce, you'll want to make sure you have mashed it until it is a very smooth consistency with little to no chunks of apple remaining. In a separate large bowl, add 1 cup of unsweetened applesauce, 1/3 cup of pure maple syrup, 2 large eggs, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Whisk until well combined. Add dry ingredients to wet ingredients and stir by hand until well mixed. Place muffin cup liners into 12 cavities of a regular sized muffin tray. Spray each liner with nonstick cooking spray. When I first made a batch of these applesauce muffins, they ended up sticking all over those paper liners, even though I used plenty of nonstick cooking spray. If this happens to you, chances are it's a type of muffin cup liner that you're using. These parchment paper liners are the best type to use and require little to no nonstick cooking spray. Using a measuring cup or a large spoon, distribute the muffin batter into all 12 cups. They should end up being about 2/3 to 3/4 full. In a small bowl, whisk together 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon. Sprinkle 1/4 teaspoon over each of the muffins. This last step is optional but does give the muffins a nice finishing touch. Bake muffins in your preheated 350 degree oven for 22 to 25 minutes, or until a toothpick, when inserted in, comes out clean. Wait at least 3 to 5 minutes before removing the muffins from the pan so they keep their shape. If you're serving them within the next 24 hours, simply keep them at room temperature uncovered. Muffins will keep for up to 2 to 3 days at room temperature. To prevent them from getting soggy, line the bottom of a Tupperware container with a paper towel. Add muffins and then place an additional paper towel on top to absorb the excess moisture. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, it is literally bursting with cinnamon and spice flavors, and look at how incredibly soft and fluffy these muffins are. And no one's even going to be able to guess that these actually have no butter and no oil. If you're still in a baking mood, make sure you check out these other easy dessert recipes. Thanks so much for hanging out, y'all. I'll see you again soon.